tie, one, go. I was a catcher for a trapeze. I played soccer for many years. I loved soccer. So I always stayed physically active. Around when I was 27, I enrolled in Taekwondo. And that was really interesting because that was the first time I was reintroduced to Korea again through Master Park. And he spoke in Korean a lot. When we bowed in, he'd say "Chariet, Kinyet," and "Junbi," and then we'd fight. I had the opportunity to visit Korea for the first time in 1998, and I went with 27 other adoptees from all over the world. When we were flying into Korea, when I saw the land, I had a panic attack. It hit me just out of the blue, and I didn't know why. It must be that, you know, your physical being remembers everything. So to me, Korea meant the Korean War. But the panic attack went away, and we landed, and we were greeted by a large group of people, and I was simply amazed by what I saw, because this was perhaps 50 years after the war, and my memories were Korea was flattened. And then 50 years later, Korea looked just like any modern city in the United States. It was pretty unbelievable that a country can rebuild itself to that magnitude in such a short time. Humans are amazing. And then I realized, after seeing South Korea and how prosperous South Korea is, that North Korea must be a totally different situation. I was watching my favorite news channel, which is CNN, and they had a news program of the devastation in North Korea from flood and famine. And they had pictures of some farmers that were trying to work on the flood areas, and it looked like they had shovels without the metal part of the shovel. They had sticks. So, but then in my mind, I think North Korea, they're both Koreans. They have an artificial boundary, and this is a divided family situation. So I wanted to go to North Korea. And the other thing was, I don't always believe what I see on the news. I'm a doubting Thomas. I have to see for myself. And so I went. And this was during a time when North Korea lost millions of people to starvation. And I witnessed some of that myself. So it was important to me to bring North Korea up to speed on surgery and surgical equipment. So I obtain a lot of equipment from different companies. When you're a president of a medical company, you tend to know other presidents of other medical companies. And they didn't hesitate a moment when I asked for equipment. They just shipped it to me. So I brought quite a bit of equipment in, and I lectured at the Pyongyang University Teaching Hospital, their top surgeons. And it was quite a rewarding experience. It was late at night, and we were going to a restaurant, and right next to the door was a 5-year-old orphan, homeless boy with no shoes on. And I thought, wow, that's my protege. So it made me think. I thought, how in the world did I go from him to training surgeons, and all the different events from that boy to where I was walking through. His image always stayed with me. Won-suk is a famous Korean artist. The UN even made stamps out of some of her images. She was involved in humanitarian work with North Korea, and I traveled with her a couple of times to North Korea, and she was my interpreter, and that's how we first met. Well, through Won-suk, I've acquired a whole Korean family. She has 7 siblings. There's 2 brothers and the rest are sisters. And then I constantly hear her speaking Korean to everybody, her friends and whatnot. So.
And a
Yo,
yo.
yo, yo.
까불이.
아이고.
One. That's pathetic.
But this one better than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He picked up a lot, not only from me, I teach him some, but he picked up a lot watching Korean soap operas.
I don't understand anything they're saying. So Won-suk thinks it's funny when we have it on and she's talking and I go, shh, we have to turn up the volume. I turn up the volume more. And she thinks that's funny because I still can't understand what it is.
He has this whole little booklet of a lot of phrases, like, get out of here, I'm going crazy,
Wow.
You know, along with nice things too. But.
Yeah, 이거 뭐야? 죽을래? 뭐봐? Well, those are gangsters, you know, before they get in a fight. And it's funny about memory because there's a sensory memory, and I remembered kimchi, and I remembered duck. But for all those years, I had completely forgotten about them because they weren't around. So, but as soon as I tasted it, I thought, ah, I remember this. And when you breathe out, you could smell it, or you have the sense of it. And so, it brought back a lot of memories.
The sister was cleaning out Thomas's parents' old home, and they came across this document from adoption agency before the adoption. It had a few details of what he does, and he's very athletic, and also he loves to sing. And he can sing this one Santoki song. There's a couple of Korean songs that every Korean children sing. It's like, you know, Mary Had a Little Lamb, you know, Ring Around the Roses kind of song. And this particular song is about this mountain rabbit who goes around and looking for things to eat. The document said that he knows that and he sings it very well. So I asked him, do you remember what that song was? And he said, no, he doesn't remember anything. So I started singing, and we were kind of trying to go to sleep, and he wanted me to sing again. So I sang again, and he said, can you do it again and again? So I probably lying in the bed, sang that song for about 9, 10 times. In the Mountain Rabbit song, it goes, rabbit, rabbit, where are you going? And I'm going here to pick up chestnut. And then he said, rabbit, rabbit, where are you going? So it has 어디 가요, meaning where are you going? And he said that he remembered that phrase. He remembers saying that a lot. And, you know, of course, we immediately linked that phrase with him missing his mother or his mother going away. I don't know whether that's connection, the abandonment thing, whether we're connecting afterwards or not, but all of that was just mixed in, and it was very emotional.
I feel that my mother must have gone on in her life, and perhaps her new family has no idea about me. And I'm sure that's true to many birth mothers. So, and I want her to be happy. with her new family. And I don't want to all of a sudden go up to her front door and knock on it and say, ta-da, here I am, long time no see. 오래간만입니다. I hope that she's happy in her new family and that that's fine. I don't have any need to do that. I don't have any desire to do that, and I will never do that. These are teardrops. And you can see in the teardrops the center of the Korean flag. And then in here, in the teardrops, are adoptee pictures. And what it symbolizes is the teardrops of the birth mothers that gave up their children for adoption. That book was published right before I ever went back to Korea. But then at the same time, I was helping a lot of Korean adoptees work through problems. And you know, the suicide thing and alienation thing. Some of them have a lot of self-doubt because they feel like they were rejected or abandoned. And it stays with them every day. And they find that very difficult to deal with. But it's like everything else. You can look at it from one position or another position. And you know, I look at it as, yes, you were abandoned, but you were also chosen. So, you know, this is weird, but adoptees are the chosen ones.
What is a just man? And this man seems to be compassionate, good, and at the same time seems to be fulfilling his nature, whatever that nature is, that could not be destroyed by his first 5 years of experience. People get destroyed by that sort of beginning, but not this man.
I don't know why negative experiences can affect different people differently. And I have a lot of adoptee friends that are extremely negative about the whole adoption system. Losing their country, losing their language, their customs, and then ending up as a minority in a predominantly white society. Oh, and it's I was never angry about my adoption. Especially, I noticed that a lot of the early orphans from the war were very glad to get out of Korea. Korea was destroyed, it was flattened, everybody was hungry, it was so poor. And then all of a sudden, you fly into a country and there's no war and there's all this food and play toys, and I mean, what's there to be angry about? I had the opportunity to meet the president of South Korea, and he was saying to our group how ashamed he felt and sorry that Korea sold their children. And I told him that I wish he didn't feel so badly because, and I really believe this, there is nothing in my past that I would change if I could. You know, your past makes you who you are today, and everything that you encounter is part of a learning experience going into the future.
Seemingly with a fantastic disadvantage, and yet he made something more beautiful than most of us. So that's what I like about him. And I hope he understands how much those of us who appreciate him see him as such, as a product of his own imagination.
Hey, I saw all that weightlifting stuff out there.
Lord, for giving us this beautiful day, and to thank our host.
This side is the American side, and this side is the Korean side.
I think his generosity will continue, and the world benefits from having Thomas.